KXVS on 92.1. Coming soon.
This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lions We Serve Live show. And I'm your host, Lion Connie O'Day, and I'm president of the Stockton San Joaquin Lions Club in District 4A1. Oh, with summer coming and schools getting out, we've got a lot of great things happening throughout internationally and within our own communities. Several of the things that I want to remind you about is start thinking about raising money within your club for the Rose Parade on New Year's morning of January 2019. You know the Lions always enters a float, and this year's float, the theme is Preserving Our Environment. On the float, which is 35 feet long this year, and the design is to depict Leos planting trees and overseeing the preservation of a historic landmark. It goes along with the theme of preserving our environment. We're also on the float is going to be a large water wheel, and it's going to be animated. So it'll be moving and the water will be moving. So it's going to be an absolutely beautiful float. And if you go to the International Rose Parade Float website, you will be able to see a picture of the float actually and see the progress of it. Okay, let's see. We also have the Peace Poster Contest. Now, many of you have already started with your schools, and some of you will be starting as soon as school returns. And so I want to make sure that I will keep you posted on the Peace Poster Contest. And it's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful event. And it's for children from 11 to 13 years old. This last year, our club, Stockton San Joaquin, at one of our elementary schools here in Stockton, which is Elmwood Elementary, we had over 78 entries. All the students, I believe, within that age did enter a poster. It was quite an event. And after the Peace Poster Contest was over, our club went to the school and gave back the posters to all of the students, and we also gave them a certificate of accomplishment. And in the audience was also the upcoming students for the ages of 11 on up that are anxious to participate this year. So we already got a group already started at Elmwood Elementary, and I hope that in your community you also have schools that are participating. And also remember to go to the schools where students have life challenges, because we do have an essay contest with the same theme for students that cannot draw or who are visually impaired. And they may write an essay of what they believe to be how to preserve our environment. last year we had 2 entries from one of our schools that has special education. And this was wonderful to have 2 entries. So I encourage all of you out there in your communities, go to the schools where those children are challenged visually or physically, and encourage them to participate in the poster contest too. And that would be the essay part of the poster contest. Thank you, and I'd like to hear from you. Please go to my website, which is at the bottom of the screen here, and let me know what you're doing in your community so I can announce it on our show. The other thing that's coming up is Memorial Day. Now, in many of our communities, we have wonderful memorial services that are going on, and in the Stockton area here, in Stockton, California, District 4A1, we have quite a few different events coming up. The American Legion Carl Ross Post number 16th on Memorial Day is planning to have a memorial service, and the special guests are called the Amazing Grace Pipe Band from Sacramento, California, will be participating in the memorial services. And they will start in the early morning at 8:30, and there will be a luncheon also. So that is the memorial services for Memorial Day for the American Legion Carl Ross Post number 16. And it will be at the post, and that's located at 2020 Plymouth Road here in Stockton, California. Another wonderful event that's happening on Memorial Day is the VFW Luneta Post 52, and they will be starting a memorial celebration with their first service at 8:30 at the Vietnam Memorial, which is across the street from the Civic Auditorium, which is located at 513 North Center Street here in Stockton. This event is very wonderful, and a lot of recognition to our veterans from the Vietnam War. And then another service will be held at one of our other memorials for World War II. Also, another event that's happening between Stockton and Lodi, California, is at the Cherokee Memorial Park. They have a beautiful service. There are Boy Scouts clubs from the Lodi area that place thousands of small flags in one large field, and then on all of the memorial grave sites of every veteran in the park. Also, there will be speakers, and this year's speaker is Chaplain Chad Eric Donley. He is a U.S. Army veteran, and he is the speaking pastor at the Ham Lane Christian Church of Christ in Lodi. At this special memorial, there is also a flyby with planes. They release doves, and they have other events and other venues that are helping to collect food and resources for our veterans overseas, writing materials, cards, etc. So if you want to have a beautiful day and a wonderful, wonderful Memorial Day, please come out to Cherokee Memorial Park. And the services start at 10:30, but I would recommend you coming a little bit earlier. There is parking for those with disabilities, and there are shuttles to take you from your parking place to the service area. So it's a very caring veteran services, and we have veterans that are as old as in their late 90s and early 100s from the World War II. In fact, I have a father that is still living, and he is 97 years old, a U.S. Army veteran. Very proud of him. And so that's some of the events that are happening here in the Stockton area for Memorial Day. Now we have other things that are coming up. We have Flag Day, which is on June 14th. You know, that's when the clubs go out to the elementary schools especially, and it wouldn't even hurt to go to the high schools and teach the students and remind them what is the meaning of our United States flag and why we should be supporting our flag and be proud of our flag and why we do have Flag Day. So I hope that a lot of the clubs out there, if not all of you, are planning some type of event with one of the schools in your area to celebrate Flag Day with the students. You can order small flags from our international store, and so that you can have flags to pass out to the students. That is a wonderful event. I know that one of our clubs, Stockton Host, many years ago, had quite a Flag Day event where people dressed up in the old colonial costumes and did a real wonderful show for Flag Day. And so that's what's coming up. And then we also, here in Stockton, we have in the past tried to have a 4th of July parade every year. And this year we are also having a 4th of July parade. So for all of you that are in the Stockton area, our Lions clubs or surrounding areas in our district, we're looking for people and clubs who would like to enter into the parade. So if your club would like to take part of the 4th of July parade, please get in touch with me, and I will also let you know what is happening. And the parade is going to be starting at 10 a.m. in downtown Stockton. Now, it is hosted by the United Veterans Council of San Joaquin County. And that is all of the, when we say United Council, that's all the different veteran organizations here in our county. And if you want to be part of the parade and support the parade, you can contact me, like I said, but you can also contact Linda Vasquez. She is on the parade committee, and she is a member of the VFW, not VFW, but the American Legion Women's Auxiliary. And the Women's Auxiliary is really supporting the parade too. So we hope that you'll be able to participate and would like to have an entry into the parade. And so you can call Linda Vasquez at 209-361-9422. And we'll be talking more about this at each one of our shows and give you more information. And like I said, if you want more information, again, call Linda Vasquez at 209-361-9422. Okay, now there are some other wonderful things going on in our community. When I talk about the different events that we're having here, I'm sure that in your own communities, these would be ideas for you to do also. I'm still looking for a lot of emails to come to me or Facebook messages coming to me to tell me what you're doing. And next week, we'll be talking more about the international convention that's coming up and what some of the other Lions clubs are doing worldwide. But right now in Modesto, the Modesto 500 Lions Club in Modesto, California, they're getting ready to have their second annual Miss Stanislaus Spirit Princess Pageant. Stanislaus is the county that Modesto is in, and that's why it's named Miss Stanislaus Spirit Princess Pageant. This is for girls from ages 5 to 22 with disabilities. A great opportunity for these young ladies. There will be a group of contestants from the ages of 5 to 12, and the second group is from 13 to 22 years old. All of the benefits and proceeds go to the Society for Disabilities. If you want more information about this wonderful pageant, you may contact Pat Casey Gillum She is a past district governor for our District 4A1. And her phone number is 209 525 9211. This event is going to be held at the Downey High School Auditorium in Modesto, California. And so we are looking forward to participation, and there are sponsors that are available, sponsorships, and those run from the gold sponsorship of $100. In that sponsorship, your organization would get a paid ad and 2 pageant tickets. And let's see, the tickets are $25, and for the contestants, and additional tickets are $15 per person. The silver sponsorship is $75, and that gives you a program ad and also 1 pageant ticket. Then we have the bronze sponsorship, which is $50, and you get a paid ad. That means your company will have an ad in the program. So that's a lot of wonderful publicity, plus the opportunity to sponsor and contribute to the Miss Stanislaus Spirit Princess pageant. Okay, that's really a wonderful event, especially the fact that it is for young ladies that have disabilities. And that's what Lions is all about, is to helping those in need and those with disabilities too. Now let's have some more information of good, fun things that are coming up. The Sonora Senior Center in Sonora, California, is having a gourmet omelet breakfast sponsored by the Sonora Lions Club. This is a very busy club. We have several clubs within our district that are so very, very busy. That includes Sonora Lions Club and Stockton Host Lions Club, which my guest today is from. And also, this omelet breakfast is to raise money for community events, and it starts at 8 a.m. To 11 a.m. on June 23rd. So I hope that if you're in that area of Sonora, that you'll be able to attend this wonderful breakfast. I've gone to it. It's fantastic, and the food is excellent. Okay, we have another wonderful event happening here in the San Joaquin County area. The National Federation of the Blind is having a dinner on June 23rd, 2018, this June 23rd, from 5 to 10:30 p.m. at the Mexican Heritage Center Gallery here in Stockton at 111 South Sutter Street. And this is the fundraiser for the San Joaquin County chapter of the National Federation of the Blind of California. So I hope that you may get some more information about this. If you want to contact me, I can give you more information. And the tickets are for adults. Those are $15 only. For children 4 to 10, it's only $7. And under 10, children from 0 to 3 are free. So get your tickets. There's going to be live music, and there's going to be raffles, and just a whole evening of a lot of fun and raising money to support the Blind Federation. Okay. So these are some of the wonderful events that are happening in our community and internationally. And I do want to remind you that the International Convention is coming up. And I'm sure all of you have been looking at the website for the convention. It's going to be in Las Vegas this year. So for all of you who are in the United States, that's pretty close. And that's going to be the closest one that we have for many years to come. Okay, and I will give you more information as time goes on, but you better get your reservations in. It's going to be held at the MGM Hotel. And I do believe by now all of the rooms that have been blocked off for our convention are filled. But there's a lot of other hotels and small motels all around the area where you can get rooms. So make your reservations now, because it's going to be a fantastic convention this year. The parade is going to be great, and just being in Las Vegas is going to be fantastic. Bring your suntan screen. Okay.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes. Well, at this time, I would like to introduce to you our speaker for today and our guest. This is Roy Morales, and Roy, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always great to come and talk Lions to you.
Right. Well, that's what we're all about,
That's
is
right.
talking about Lions. Roy is not only a member of the Stockton Host Lions Club, but he is also on the board of directors for the 45th Lions All-Star football game that we have every year in our district. And since he's on the board of directors, I'm going to let him tell about the football game,
Yes.
what it's all about, how you can participate, and what the Lions will be doing during the football game. And then he's going to tell a little bit about what the Stockton Host Lions Club is up to right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're always up to something. If you're a Lion, you're always busy.
That's for sure.
But this last year, I'm a member of the Stockton Host Lions Club. We meet on Tuesdays afternoons at Bud's Seafood, from noon to about 1:20, and the public's always invited to come. But then the last two Lions All-Star football games, I became involved, and had little roles to play. And they both those games were played in Tracy. Was involved in the flag ceremony both years, and really got a good feeling for the game itself and the history and the people that are involved with it. I know Coach Don Norton.
Now, Don Norton, you need to explain where the coaches are coming from. And
Coach Don Norton is on the football committee with myself and several others who I'll mention. But he's a good friend of mine, and we support his program like we do many of the programs. My employer supports all the various programs.
and who's your employer?
I work for Chase Chevrolet. And so
He's also in a fantastic Chase Chevrolet commercial that you might be seeing on television.
Commercial out too. Make sure you don't miss that one. But anyway, we've always supported all the great athletic programs that are within our county. And so last year, Coach Don Norton asked me if I'd like to take a little bit of a bigger role, and he said that he could really use some help on the committee itself
For the
Lions All-Star football
yes.
game. So back in, we met for the first time as a new committee member with the entire committee. We met in, I believe it was late December. And then we started planning for our 45th Lions All-Star football game. So we've been, the District 4A1 has hosted this event for the last 45 years. And that is an awesome accomplishment, to be able to give back to the community, having all of the various Lions clubs throughout our district participate in one way or another, whether it's selling tickets, selling ads.
Now, selling ads, we have every year there's a very large book.
There is a very large book, and I happen to have the book right now. I'll see if you can take a look at it.
That's from last year?
Now, this one is from last year, and when the camera pans over here, you'll be able to take a look at it. But this is last year's program here. Oh, there we go. See, it came over to my side now.
Oh, well, let's see.
Maybe
There you go.
There you go. This is last year's program. And it's a beautiful program, very, very well done. And they're of course, all of the football players have their pictures in the program. as well as businesses advertising their businesses. You can see right here. You can see many of the players in the program.
Right.
And then some ads on the other side. You know, business cards, ads, and this is a real. This is a quality printing, you know.
Right.
So this is this is actually the Lions All-Star football program. Now there are 80 players that play in this game, 40 on each side.
Now we have what, north side and the south side.
Yes, and those are the two teams that play against each other. It's the northern, the north plays the south.
Now these are the high schools.
And these are all high schools. They're the best high school football players within the northern area versus the southern area. And so we've been playing this game for 45 years. And it has a lot of history.
Yeah, it does.
It has a tremendous amount of history. But you know, through the years, and the game was actually always played here in Stockton. This was the birth of where it actually
it used to be
started.
played at University Pacific's football field,
Yes,
which is
it
gone
was.
now.
Yeah, when they demolished it, I think the last game there was it might have been 2011.
Yeah. Yeah,
and so it was kind of sad because we lost the venue, you know.
Oh, it was.
And so the committee at that time had to make a decision and find another place to play the game. They did. They took the game to Modesto Junior College. It wasn't really set up as nicely as University of Pacific. And so it didn't stay there. So then they moved the game. Later on, they moved the game to Tracy High School.
Right. Yes,
and Tracy High School has actually done a very, very good job of promoting the game. The community really gets behind the game, and it's been a great event. But now what we're trying to do is we're trying to take, because there's such a long history of the game and its contributions to the district, just a little bit of the game history. It's got a great history. Back in 1973 at the district convention in Santa Cruz, club delegates voted to accept the All-Star football game as a district project. A committee was formed, and in 1974, the first Lions Central California All-Star football game was played at the University of the Pacific Stadium in Stockton. 27 players from the north and 27 players from the south battled to a 14-13 win by the South. The district was given the proceeds of $9,750, and we were on our way.
Right.
The players for each game are the graduates of the current year and have been selected from high schools located within the 8-county Central California area that make up Lions District 4A1. The players are first nominated by their head football coach. Players selection is done by a committee of coaches who review the game films provided by each school. Those players rated in the top of the grading order are then invited to play in this game. The football game was adopted not only as a district fundraising event, but also to give graduating seniors from the schools in their district an opportunity to display their talents in a postseason game and to give them recognition within their communities. In 1985, team rosters were increased to 30 players, and after the 2005 game, over 1,790, and this was just going back through 2005, there was over close to 1,800 young men would have participated in the Lions All-Star football games. Many have gone on to excel in athletics at colleges, university, and several have made it to the pro ranks. Over the years, some changes have been made in the methods of club sales, tickets, and sale of advertising for the program. A portion of the funds are now retained by the clubs for use in their respective communities. Through the 2000.
So the what you're saying is that the proceeds come to the district, and then the district gives out to the clubs.
Yeah, what happens is when they sell when they sell advertising, you know, they get the club gets to keep 10% of the advertising money.
Right.
So that helps the club immediately.
Yes.
And then the tickets that are sold to the club to distribute to either their members or organizations, youth organizations, you know, to go to the game. that money does go directly to the organization Lions football.
So
game as
the
well.
club purchases what, about 50 tickets, and
Yeah, I think
they pay-
each club gets about.
Right.
If I remember correctly, I think it's 25 tickets.
25 tickets.
Yeah,
okay.
for like $150. But then the club can decide how they want to distribute the,
Right.
the proceeds.
This is a really good part of this football game, because I've always thought this was wonderful. The clubs donate the $150 for the tickets, and that goes directly to the proceeds for the football game.
Right.
And then the club can pass those tickets out, like you said. They can pass them out to other organizations, to students
Right.
of other organizations, and to schools, and to business people also.
Yes.
And this is wonderful. Very
Yeah,
good.
it's
Okay.
really good, and there's a lot of youth football organizations, youth sport organizations, where that have kids that would maybe hadn't been to a big football game
Right.
like this, because it really is a big game. Because in most cases, these players, throughout these 8 counties where these players come from, this may be their only all-star football game that they ever play in. Many of them will continue on to college. Some of them will play at the college ranks. But you know what? The chances are them playing in an all-star football game again are pretty slim.
Right.
So it's really a big deal. And from its inception, back in '73, it really meant something to make this team.
It does, yes.
And so I think to this day, they've been trying to keep that alive. I think one of the greatest things is that over the years, we've made some changes as far as club ticket sales and advertising for the game. And of course, a portion of those funds are retained for the immediate club use, but also for the district. Through the 2004 game, which was quite some time ago, they had raised close to $350,000 for the district.
Oh, wonderful.
And these funds again are turned over to the district clubs and community for charitable projects.
Right.
So. The problem, the game is a wonderful game, and it's a wonderful display of Lionism because of the volunteers that put all of their efforts to make sure that this game, continues.
Right.
Because it's really meaningful to the players because of how it's coordinated, and it comes with a cost. The players are housed from, they check into camp on a Monday, and they play on a Saturday. So Monday until Saturday, these players are practicing together, they're eating together, they're playing together, they're enjoying each other's company together, and they don't go home. They all live together. And the northern team is housed at University of the Pacific in the dorms.
Oh, okay.
And the southern team is housed during that week at Stanislaus State.
No, I was just going to say, you're right. Yeah.
So what we have to do is we have to make arrangements for them, for us, of course, to be able to pay for the cost of boarding them, and then feeding them.
Now the clubs can sponsor.
And the clubs,
the
all of
players.
the advertising, whether it be sponsoring a player or sponsoring an ad, buying tickets to the game, all of those things go to support the
during
event
that whole week. And there's a banquet, right?
And
they still have a banquet.
And they still have a banquet as well. But there's what's happened over the course of the years is that everything becomes more expensive.
Like everything else, right?
And believe
That's
me,
right.
these kids, this is a great, it's a Lions football all-star game. Believe me, they eat like lions, because these kids now, these new athletes are huge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they work out all the time. I mean,
Well, they're the top athletes
they're the
from
top athletes.
each one of the high schools that they
From
represent.
each one of the high schools, yes, they are, and great young men, but they each out of house and home. So we have to figure out a way how to feed them, and that's fun during the week. But they do some other activities during their week, and when after they check into their camps, it's actually the South Camp checks in on June 11th. They check in at Stanislaus State at 12:30, and then our North team checks in at UOP at 12:30 the same day.
Now, UOP is the University of the Pacific here in Stockton, California. It's a private university and a huge, wonderful, wonderful university. And their support for the Lions and all kinds of other events, too, has been tremendous. And Stanislaus State is Cal State Stanislaus. It's a California university. And that's in Turlock, right?
Turlock,
yeah, it's in Turlock, California. So just to give you a little idea of what Stanislaus is and what UOP is. Yeah.
And so we have the North team at UOP and the South team at Stanislaus. Some of the activity that they have going on during the week is the following day. The North team, which is staying at UOP, is invited to dinner. That is made for them by the Linden Lions.
Oh yes, the Linden Lions is a really good. That's Linden, California Lions. They're very active.
And they've been doing that for as long as I know.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that for years and years. But I know that they put on quite a meal for the team.
Does the team go to the Linden's clubhouse?
Yes, that's where they have it at. They have it at their clubhouse. So, and they always have wonderful dinners there.
Oh yes,
they do. They do an excellent job, and we've got a great Linden support. So thank you, Linden Lions, for providing the North team dinner on June 12th. Outstanding participation on your part. And then the North team on the following day. We'll go to a Ports game. So all the football players and the coaches will actually attend a Ports game.
That's the Stockton Ports baseball team
here in Stockton. So that North team will have, not only will they have a dinner over at Linden Lions the following day after the practices and all of that, they're going to enjoy a Ports game together.
All the football players?
All the football players. So I mean, this is where these relationships of this event become really important. Because now they're playing together, they're eating together, they're doing some things together. They're beginning to build relationships with one another, whereas before they always played against each other.
Right.
So now that camaraderie of being able to play with excellent players and get to know who the other people are and create the relationships that they do.
This is wonderful.
They last forever,
That's Lionism.
That is exactly why we do the game, because then they become familiar with who Lions are, why do they do this game? They see that it's for them. And for their future and for them to develop,
right.
as young men. And then in Turlock, they have our Turlock Lions. Our Turlock Lions Club will prepare the dinner for the South team on the 14th, so they get their opportunity to have their dinner. And then they have an activity that they go to. I think they're talking about maybe doing a bowling thing with all of the kids. They haven't quite decided exactly what they're going to do. But they're going to go out, and they're going to give them a chance to have some fun together as a team. And then on... and then on 6/16, which is actually the day of the game, that'll be June 16th is actually the day of the game. The game is being played at Tracy High again this year.
Good.
And that's at Wayne Schneider Stadium. And the pregame festivities begin about 6:15, and then the kickoff is right around 7 o'clock, 7:15. At Tracy High School, Wayne Schneider Stadium, Tracy High School. This is an absolutely outstanding competition, and the kids just absolutely have an absolutely wonderful time. It's a special time. It's a real special time, and I'm proud. This year, just being involved with the other members on the committee, I'm really proud that just to be able to participate, because I know that these kids. Really are going to appreciate everything that the Lions have put together for them. Now, the week before they do have on that would be June 9th, the week before the game, all the players get together for an all-star banquet. And that all-star banquet, it starts at about 5:30, and it's held at the Italian Athletic Club here in Stockton. And right around 5:30, 6 o'clock, Tickets are $25 if you want to buy a ticket, or if you and your wife want to come, or bring maybe some of your family members. We would love to have you. It's an opportunity for all of the players, both North and South, to get together, have a meal, and talk to some Lions. Get to know some Lions, because that's a lot of the Lions are there in support.
Right.
And so they have a guest speaker. This year's guest speaker is he is a ex-professional football player from the Minnesota I believe he played with the Minnesota Vikings. And he got injured. I don't know if it was an injury or an illness, but he has a tremendous story that he's going to be able to share with these young athletes, and I think it's going to be very inspiring, for them. So they have a guest speaker. They're going to have a great meal.
Do you know his name?
I'm
No?
trying to
Okay.
remember his name, but I can't remember. But
we'll
he is,
get it, and I'll announce it next week.
Yeah, he's got a great story, and I think that's going to be really nice. The one thing that I did want, Lion Elizabeth has been.
Can you tell us who Lion Elizabeth is?
Yes, I'm going to tell you who Lion Elizabeth is.
She's wonderful.
Lion Elizabeth Olson is the chairperson on the committee, and she is a member of the Lions. I believe she's with Delta. And she's
Right,
with Delta
here in Stockton.
Here in Stockton. Elizabeth, she's about this tall.
She's very
short,
small, but very
she's
powerful.
She's very short in age, in stature, but boy, what a heart she has. She has been heading this committee for as long as I know.
I know.
Okay, so it goes way back.
Yes, way back.
And she does such a wonderful job, Plus the other committee members that have dedicated, themselves to making sure that this game continues because of its history and everything good that it does for our community. Coach Wayne Schneider. The field that they're going to play on in Tracy is named after Wayne Schneider. Wayne Schneider was a professional football player, an absolutely outstanding college football player, and a legendary football coach at Tracy High. And I know that anybody in the Tracy area or anywhere in probably San Joaquin County knows the name Wayne Schneider. Each year, and it's getting more and more difficult because we get a little older each year. But each year he has a huge role in pulling it all together.
Right,
so I gotta say, Wayne Schneider is it's just wonderful working with him. He knows how to get things done, and he gets it done every year. Of course, the another on the committee is Coach Don Norton with Stagg High School. Him, Elizabeth, Wayne Schneider, they do an absolutely outstanding job. We also have the Bagnudas. That's Francis and Norma. I believe they're both from Linden Lions, I believe.
No,
Oh, is it
Linden
Linden?
Lions is only men.
Oh,
They're
no,
from Delta.
that's is that Delta? Okay.
Yeah, Delta.
Anyway, they have been very involved since way back, and Jane Williford, also
Right.
a great committee member. Conrad Renteria, I believe Conrad is from the South area, I think in the Turlock area. Brenda Howell. Has been a long-time member.
Is that
on
Judy
that.
Howell's sister?
Could be Brenda Howell, but she's on that football committee, and she's Gary Bissell, Debbie Hoffman, Lindell Hawkins, Mark Tennis with Cal High Sports. He's been there through all of this as well.
And what is his name again?
Mark Tennis.
Yes, Mark Tennis.
Mark Tennis with Cal High Sports. Yes, he knows the local high school football, baseball, all the programs, and that is his business. And Langley, Bill Casca, and Jim Solares.
Yeah,
So,
Bill is from the
I think
Tracy
Is he
Breakfast.
Tracy? Oh, Tracy Breakfast. Yes. And then Jim Solares, he's probably from Tracy Breakfast too. But a bunch of it's a small group, but it's a huge event.
Yes.
When you start to piece everything that has to come together to make this event work, it's amazing, And they do it year after year. So anyway, we're really, really excited to be part of the 45th game. One of the ways that you can help us out there is, and I know that many of you that are involved in clubs probably are aware of this already, but you can place an ad, for your business. You can place an ad. You can place an ad in our program, and all the advertising dollars will go to putting this event on.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's a
so
little
all
bit clearer.
all of the advertising dollars will go to putting this event on. You can contact your local Lions or you can give me a call, Roy Morales, Lion Roy Morales. You can always reach me at 209-242.
Or through the Stockton host.
3298, or through Stockton Host Lions Club. So anyway, that's the main thing that we wanted to do. There's one little piece that I want to add. This game is just it's really important for not only our district. We want to be able to give back more to the district.
Right.
And you know, with recently, because the game's costs are going up, you know, we're looking at new ways to try to create more revenue to be able to give more money back to the district. You know, we want to make this a very successful event for the district. So what we're thinking is, we're thinking about a possible new venue to bringing it back home to Stockton, which has a much larger marketing area as far as the high schools,
right.
The number of local high schools, and just high schools in our area. You know, I mean, if you start counting, you know, just in our immediate area, there's a lot. So I think that it's time to, and we're thinking outside the box here, we're thinking possibly next year, maybe to make a pitch to bring the game back to Stockton and making it a community event. And
right.
that is, the game has a huge history in Stockton. And maybe this might be our homecoming, you know, finding a home to bring it back to here in Stockton, to its roots, and also being able to double the attendance, you know, because depending on your marketing area, of course, you know, you're kind of limited as far as how many people. Where would we play
the game? Would it
well,
be at Sag High or Lincoln High?
It would probably be at a local high school. You know, all of the high school fields are absolutely wonderful.
They are.
You know,
great.
So we're looking at bringing the game back. We don't know exactly which high school we would bring them back to, but we are working on that. And the other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to thank our sponsors, our key sponsors. Chase Chevrolet is a key sponsor. We've always sponsored the Lions All-Star football game. As a matter of fact, one of our principals, one of the owners at Chase Chevrolet, actually played in the second game, which was in 1974.
My goodness.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
there's a huge history there, and he'll never forget that, you know. The other sponsor, other major sponsor is Black Oak Casino.
Right.
We want to, you know, make a shout out to them. Thank you for supporting our game, continuing to support our game. We really thank you for that. And then this year, the Record stepped up. The Stockton Record stepped up this year.
That's our local newspaper.
That's our local newspaper. We asked them if they'd like to participate, you know, and they came on as a media sponsor.
Wonderful.
So that's all good news. So we've got some really great things happening, and so hopefully we're hoping for. And you know what? We got to thank KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, because
right here, yep.
You guys will be airing our 45th Lions All-Star football game. Yes, we did it last year. Dustin was kind enough to do it for us last year, so he's got the A-OK to go back and he'll live stream it, or we'll be able to see it on Facebook. And it was fun. It was a fun time, you know. And he did a wonderful job. So we want to thank the radio station also for supporting the event.
That's excellent. And just wanted to say that the coaches for the South.
Yes.
That coach is Frank Marquez.
Frank Marquez, yes. He's from Hillmar.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's coaching the South.
Uh-huh.
And then we have our Lincoln High School coach.
That's
the
my
North
alma
coach.
mater. Go
there
Lincoln.
You go.
Yes.
Anthony Martinez from Lincoln High School is the North coach this year, and they're both really excited about the game, you know, and it's just going to be a great time. It's you know, this game's going to be in Tracy, of course, you know, but we have intentions of bringing it back next year. We're hoping that we can bring it back to Stockton next year.
Well, one of the things that they used to do, I remember many of the games that I went to, we had, during the halftime, we had the parade of club banners.
Yes.
And we all would go out with our own club vests on, and we would carry our banner out into the field to show all the participants of our support. So far, all I know this year is that we're going to be taking our banners and hanging them on the fence. Are we going to have a parade?
What's happening, this is part of the reason why we're beginning to think outside the box a little bit, you know, because over the years, what can happen is, you know, we may not get as much participation as they did, you know, in the earlier years. So we've lost a little bit. You know, we used to have a lot of banners. Now, the last 2 years, I have been involved with the banner ceremony. And I guess because they had really light attendance last year, what they decided to do, instead of doing the banner ceremony, they're going to hang the banners. So any clubs that come out, they're going to hang the banners, you know, but I think they're going to eliminate the parade. But that's not to say that it'll never come back. It's just to say that we just hadn't had enough support.
We've got some work to do.
We've got some work to do.
We need to go visit the clubs and get some
and
of the
we
new
have
people.
been,
Yeah.
and we have been, and that group that I was telling you about, they really work hard. But we're working on some new creative things,
Good.
And we're excited about it. And we just thank you for giving us the opportunity to come in and share, you know, some of the things that are going on
Definitely.
regarding
We'll
the
continue
Lions
to
All-Star
talk
football
about
game,
this. Definitely. I've been talking about it throughout the different programs in the last few months. And it's like you say, it's a very exciting event. It's good for the community. It's good for these young men that are moving on in their lives. And it just, the endless opportunities with it and the endless amount of what it brings to the community is fantastic.
And you know, one of the coolest things is that many of these players, there's a lot of these players that have played in this game that went pro, and that actually had nice careers. And many of these now are running foundations, you know, and charitable organizations, you know, giving back to the community.
And they probably learned that from this event.
And
yes.
you know, I don't think they'll ever forget, you know, what Lions are all about, because we gave them an opportunity to play in an all-star game, and some of these went on to become professionals, you know. But the others went on to be very successful because of all of the great, you know, lessons learned on the football field, you know. So it's absolutely a lot of good stuff in that game. And in about 2 weeks, Coach is going to come in. Coach Don Norton's going to come in. He's going to bring a couple players in. I think
yes,
Dustin's
you're going to be on my show in a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
that's right. And then you'll get to know a couple of players and the coach's perspective, the player's perspective, some, you know, a different perspective that a lot of the Lions may be listening, you know, to right now, not knowing a lot about the game. But once they start to understand the history of the game,
I believe it's June 4th you're going to be here.
Yes,
the first Monday in June. So please tune in for us at that time. We have a few minutes, and Roy, I want to thank you so much for bringing this information, and I will continue to talk about it right up to the minute of the game.
Oh, yes.
And how about just sharing a little bit before we close what Stockton Host is doing in the next month or so?
Well, Stockton Host, actually tomorrow, if you guys are out and about and you want to really listen to a great guest speaker at our Lions Luncheon, we always meet every Tuesday at Bud's Seafood at noon. We're going to have Tom Patty, San Joaquin County Board of Supervisor Tom Patty. You know, they're always busy working on things, you know, to improve our lives. And Tom Patty is a true worker.
Oh,
you know.
he is. He definitely is.
And so he's going to be our guest speaker tomorrow. So if you would like to attend, just feel free to come out. We do have a couple of cool events that they're actually silent raffle items. Actually, live auction items that went in our crab feed, and one is a bike and wine trip in Lodi, where 5 couples will ride their bikes through the vineyards and taste some wine.
Oh yeah.
And have some cheese and lunch along the way. That's going to be a fun event. We're going to have that on June 2nd. 5 people who bought that trip. They're going to enjoy that.
And that was at your silent
That was
auction
at our crab feed. And by the way, our crab feed, it was the best crab feed we've ever had. And
Do you know how much you
yes,
made?
actually, last year was our best one. Okay, to date, and I think we made 18,500. Okay, but then this year we broke 20,000.
Oh,
so we
my
got
gosh.
over 20,000 this year, and I know that there's a lot of others that make more. But you know, half of that went to fund our scholarships.
Right.
And so it's going back into the community, and then the other half is being used in other activities that we're involved with.
And I know your scholarship program is excellent.
Yes.
It
And
is
so
very
we're
good.
proud of that, and we're going to be able to make some kids happy, you know, going to college. The other live auction item that we had was the dinner on the Delta. There's dinner for like 20 and it's at Fazo Estate. It's Dustin was there, I think, and that was one. That was
Where
a great
was it held?
at the Fazo Estate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right on the point at the Delta, and it's an absolute
Isn't that
beautiful
where
estate.
you've had?
We
the
have
Lions
had
have
some Lions events there
Right.
before. So
Beautiful
anyway, we're going to
place.
be involved with being the servants to the winners of the raffle.
That's
Of
fantastic.
the so that's good. That's good. And then, of course, on June 23rd, we have, like many clubs have, is we're looking forward to our installing our new board.
Right.
So we have our installation dinner coming up, and our outgoing president is Greg Perdue.
Right.
He served his year.
Said
Believe
it
it or
great.
not, I can't. I hope you're listening to Greg. You said you said you'd never do it.
He
You
did
did
a
a
great
wonderful job. And then you'll never guess who our incoming president is.
No.
Dr. Julie Damron Brown.
Dr. Brown.
So we
yes.
will be. Well, she will be our incoming president. We are so excited to have her lead us into the future.
She has a show on KXVS too,
Tales and tips.
and she's a veterinarian.
And she's a veterinarian,
Right. Wonderful.
but she's just a wonderful community advocate, and she's an absolutely outstanding Lion. So I'm so proud to have her. On July 13th, for the Community Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, we are putting together a pub crawl to raise funds for the organization. And basically what it is we offer tickets at $10. The entire $10 ticket will go directly to the Community Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And it's all on the Miracle Mile. There are several merchants that are involved with it, and you're going to get discounts wherever you go. So whether it be a drink or whether it be a lunch or a dinner, you're always going to get a discount at each one, so you'll get some of your money back. But you'll be
the Miracle
supporting
Mile here in Stockton.
right
is
here on the Miracle Mile
it's
here
an
in
old
Stockton.
street that's been turned into a lot of very
Beautiful
nice restaurants,
restaurants and lounges, and it's if you want to have a glass of wine, I mean, so anyway, if you'd like to participate in that, please reach out to Stockton Host Lions Club, and we'd love to be able to have you.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think that we are now having to wrap up. And Roy, I'm so glad you came. Every time you're on the show, you bring so much information. But this football, the 45th Lions All-Star football game, is one of the best district events that we have.
Really is.
And I hope that all of you who are listening that are in our district will participate and support this year again. And all the rest of you come and attend. And if you ever want to know how to put one of these events together in your own communities, just contact me here at KXVS, and we will get you in touch with our board of directors and find out just exactly how to do it in your own community. So, Roy, thank you very much. It's so good to have
Thank
you on.
you, Lion Connie. It was great being here with you.
Good.
And thank you, Dustin.
Dustin is our stage manager. And
It makes us sound good.
Yeah, it makes us sound good and look good. So thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you'll be with us next week at 2 o'clock on Monday to celebrate our Lions We Serve live show. Bye now.
Lions, what? Lions roar.